Hi, as you can see, I'm in a different place, so you're going to have to bear with me because I can't do what I normally do when I'm editing because I'm not at home. So I'm going to have to use this to flick around, and it does take time. Right, this is the book I've just finished reading on Kindle, The Mysterious Case of the Missing Crime Writer by Ragnor Jonasson. And it's the first time I've read any of this author. And what I didn't realise is that it's actually the second book featuring his detective Helgi. Not that it matters, because I went into this book not realising that Helgi had already appeared in another book, but I didn't realise I'd missed out because it was very much a standalone. Helgi's left an abusive relationship with his ex-partner, and he's now in a new relationship with Anita. So it's all very sweet at the moment. They're getting to know each other. The case. A crime writer has gone missing. Ellen is in her 70s, very successful author. She's written a series of 10 books over 20 years, or one every 2 years. But they have been really, really well received. She's famous. And she hasn't been heard of for a couple of weeks. No one's heard of her. So Helgi starts interviewing the people in Ellen's life, which doesn't take long because she's not got a wide circle of friends. She's got her publisher and her publisher's husband, and she's got a best friend, and that is basically it for Ellen. There seems to be nobody else in her life. So Helgi investigates. Within the story, you've also got a transcript of an interview Ellen did about 7 years previous. So you have this interview that is interspersed with Helgi and his investigation. As well as that, he's also intrigued by the case of a female officer who disappeared in the 70s, Hulda. And she was investigating a bank robbery, and she just disappeared. And he investigates this as well. And so within this story, you have got 3 timelines. You've got Hulda in the 70s. You've got this transcript from sort of 2005, and then you've got the present day investigation. And this is what you get within the book. And it's not a simple missing persons case. Not at all. What I found really strange, maybe it's not strange, maybe it's just me, there is no tying up. You are left with unsolved mysteries at the end. Not in the way that you think, oh, there needs to be another book to tie this off. It's just something that's unsolved. I mean, all police forces have cold cases that they can't solve. And this is the feel you get here, that, excuse me, what Helgi is investigating, there is something unresolved about it. He cannot solve everything. So you've got that. But the final chapter just, it just makes you stop. Well, it me. I thought, why? It just, and the final chapter, you just, I need another one. I need another chapter. But it's not an unsolved mystery in the case. I can't explain it without giving spoilers away. But the ending doesn't sort of relate. It doesn't relate to the cases that he's investigating. It's something totally different. I've not explained it very well because I do not want to give spoilers, but it's not related to Ellen or Hulda, but it's just something totally different, and you think, oh, I did anyway. It's also what I hadn't seen before in is that it looks at domestic abuse from a different angle. Helgi suffered a domestic abuse. You know, you normally see the women suffering, but here it's Helgi who suffered. So it was different seeing domestic abuse from another angle, and sort of the fear that is still within him. There's a vulnerability to him, and I think that is part because of the domestic abuse that he suffered. But it's the charm about him, and he is also a guy who is never without a book. He is an avid crime reader, not writer, crime reader. So he's got a book on the go the whole time. So, so what is there not to love about this guy who's always reading and who's got this vulnerable side as well? As I said, the ending took me by surprise, but I enjoyed this, and I will at some point pick up the other Helgi story. So that was this one, The Mysterious Case of the Missing Crime Writer by Ragnor Jonasson, featuring Detective Helgi. So, happy reading. Take care.